are the God who was, who is, and is to come. Jesus.
Our dear brother, uncle, friend, and a very strong member of this diocese, who happens to be the chairman of the implementation committee for the creation of Arochukwu Diocese, Arochukwu Ohafia Diocese. We invited him to give us a keynote address, which was supposed to start from 10 to 11. But because of the so much pressure, he left either Abuja to Lagos this morning, and from Lagos he came into Owerri, and he's here. I want to plead and crave the indulgence of my Lord Bishops. I know you are very busy. My plan is immediately after the address, you speak and go. That was my plan. But if I have your permission, 45 minutes, 40, 30 minutes, is it 30 minutes? Yeah, no, keynote address.
I wish to thank God for the privilege to be here today and to appreciate the Lord Bishop, my friend, not only for the privilege of coming, inviting me to play a role in this our Synod, the second session of the sixth Synod of our diocese. I also want to thank you for his considerations that day of giving me these exceptional shops, large shops, the clergy, nights, both of these dioceses and other sister dioceses, the laity, my brothers and sisters, children of God. I'd like to thank you all for indulging me and for giving me this 30 minutes or less to present this keynote address. I'm happy actually that the Bishop spoke because he has already laid the basis on which I'm just going to add a few words. Certainly these are perilous times and no one should take anything for granted except the enduring love of God. It is for the mercy of God that we're not all consumed. It is crystal clear to all, young and old, that this country is no longer working in many respects, economically, politically, and socially. Evidence abounds all over. Our economy is just struggling to exit recession, the second in 5 years, growing GDP at less than 1%. While population growth is nearly 3%. And by the way, the topic of my lecture is leadership in service, challenges of insecurity to the political and socio-economic development of our nation. I will just say that the economy is just struggling to exit recession, the second in 5 years, growing at GDP levels of much less than 0.5%, while population growth remains at nearly 3%. Because of long years of poor economic growth, in the face of high inflation and sustained devaluation of the naira, Nigeria has become the poverty capital of the world, with the highest number of poor people in the world. Given several other factors, especially poor operating environment in the face of shrinking purchasing power, unemployment and unemployment have reached depressing levels, nearly 65% of the youth population. About 65% of Nigerian youth are either not employed or they are underemployed. Unemployment is about when somebody who is a graduate is doing Uber or taxi driving or doing security work. It's underemployment. A combination of the high unemployment and high poverty creates a pattern need for insecurity. The challenge of insecurity. The primary responsibility of any government is the protection of lives and property of citizens and visitors in that jurisdiction. Any government that fails in this primary role is a failed government. That is why most governments all over the world put up a security architecture to achieve this critical function on an ongoing basis. Without adequate security in operations in any country, not really much else can happen. I've been traversing this country the last couple of months. Last week I was there, was about you. And I can tell you, each time you're on the road, everybody is praying and fasting for you. And yet this was a country I used to travel from Port Harcourt to Kano, from Maiduguri back to Jos. When I was a young boy of 10 years old, on the plane, being on the train, and my parents never cared or wondered what would happen to me. But the situation is not there anymore. The investments are stifled if there's no security because first people can't even move around. Local and foreign, and without investments, new businesses are not built, while existing ones decline in output. With that, no jobs are created or existing jobs are shared. Thus, no wealth or reduced wealth is created, and with reduced wealth creation, poverty expands. My point is that it's investment that creates businesses. Businesses create jobs. Jobs create wealth. Wealth drives away poverty. And if you have an insecure situation where investments cannot flow, both domestic and local and international, investments will not come. And if investments do not come, it is only natural that GDP will fall, consumer purchasing power will fall, demand will fall, production will fall, jobs will be less, poverty will increase. Because that's the major way the economy runs. So with increasing poverty, the socio-economic environment is depressed, manifesting in disharmony and perpetuating further poverty and insecurity. This seems to be the Nigerian situation because many people here will give evidence of how they feel on these socio-economic issues. However, added to this in Nigeria is the issue of manifesting justice. Many parts of Nigeria, many groups of Nigerians feel marginalized. Some feel disenfranchised, others maltreated and ignored, treated like second-class citizens, as they were passengers or observers in a nation that is supposed to be theirs. Some of these grievances may have compounded and complicated Nigeria's current insecurity situation. Of course, our focus here is the role of leadership. When we review the Nigerian situation, many are perplexed that our nation is in this dire stress. A country so blessed by God, if I should go from Bishop's church, should not be in this situation. It is my view that Nigeria is either established on the remains of the original Garden of Eden or in Canaan, land where we build and hurry. We lack nothing this nation, nothing. Excellent agricultural potential, fertile ground, wonderful weather, stable earth crust with embedded solid, gaseous and liquid minerals. Each state in Nigeria has enough within its territory to compete fairly, locally and globally. Pre-1967, the Eastern Nigeria was growing at the highest rate, GDP rate in the whole world. Eastern Nigeria, the region, was growing at a higher rate than any other area at that time. Additionally, God gave us very eminent human resource. Look at us. Physically strong and intellectually religious. It is the responsibility of the political leaders in every nation to develop a vision and forge out the strategies and harness the resources available in each geographical space to provide for the needs of these people. But the worsening situation in Nigeria, it is evident that our leaders are proven incapable of rising up to the occasion. When a critical review is made as to why this is happening, there is clear evidence that Nigerian leadership is deficient due to insufficient acquisition of what I have called in my book, Nigeria Need for the Evolution of the New Nation, which I was published in 2010. I called it 24 core competencies and virtues of leadership. I've just run through them. I don't have time to expound. First is sound education. 2, ability to envision, to see a better future where you can lead the people to. Capability for effective communication. A leader that can now communicate, and we are watching his body language and God lead us successfully. Experience in human resources management, dealing with different types of people and knowing how to motivate people to action. Ability to have high level of intelligent quotient. A leader who is of low intelligent quotient will be led by the people. High level of emotional intelligence. That is required to balance your ability to adjust your behavior so that you can relate profitably with those you need to work with. Ability to transform ideas into results. That is the execution capacity. Leaders that cannot execute projects or cannot dream big and bring them to reality are lacking. Humility of spirit, because the Bible says, if you are humble, the Lord will take you up. Ability and willingness to make sacrifices. If you are a leader, leadership, another name for leadership is sacrifice. True leadership, servant leadership is sacrifice. You give up yourself, give your talent, give your treasure, you give your time. That is what leadership is. It is not the other way around. However, there's a benefit leaders get. First is they get loyalty of their followers. Because they are satisfied with your sacrifice, they will in turn make sacrifices to accommodate you. But you don't demand it, you don't steal it, you don't take it for granted. Ability to influence outcome. That is another name for leadership. Ability to influence outcome. Willingly influence people to produce results or to go where they really want to go. But because we're able to shepherd them, show them the vision, and then give them the preparatory resources, and then put some fire behind them, what we call motivation, they move on. That is ability to influence outcomes, and then you can have things you can measure. A leader that we're talking about must have a deep-seated desire to compete and excel, self-motivation. He must have high level of integrity. For me, without integrity, leadership has no substance. Because a leader of armed robbery gang, a leader of kidnapping group are leaders. But that's not the kind of leadership we're talking about, because they have integrity. Integrity is what distinguishes different types of leaders. And we're talking here about the leader that can lead a nation, that can lead a state, that can lead a community, and that can lead even a church. They must have a measurable inclination to selflessness, a deep-seated desire to compete and excel, a demonstrable evidence of democratic inclination. Many of our leaders claim to be Democrats, but they are not. Their democratic definition is do what I tell you to do. If you oppose it, you are rebellious. If you criticize them, you are unfair. That's the kind of leaders we find doctrine and environment, and they say they are democratic. They don't listen to people, they listen to themselves, and they do what they want to do. I think the kind of leaders we are looking for must have a pattern of obedient to them. We have wicked leaders in our country, across the spectrum. Very wicked. If you're a good leader, you'll be willing to accept mistakes and make amends because no one is perfect. A good leader must have keen demonstration of willingness to be accountable. Accountability for every resource you are given, every opportunity you are given, every privilege you have, you must account to those people who gave you either the resources or the privilege, or who you are holding them in trust for. The leader we are looking for must have flair for hard work. Hard work. Because to lead, it's a complex thing. You have to juggle many balls in the air at the same time, and none of them should fall down. You can't say this one, wait, health, wait, let's finish with electricity, wait, let's finish with transportation. Things have to run. Education has to be running. Another social infrastructure, healthcare, and all of those things have to go at the same time, and security, etc. Ability to read, and this is one I always tell people they do not quite understand why people are listening. Ability to read and understand profit and loss statement and balance sheet. Our leaders must understand what is profit and loss and what is a balance sheet. Because if they don't do, they are not managing the assets of a state, the assets of a nation, the assets of a community, and the community has assets and liabilities. Yes, we get money. Government gets money without borrowing, so they don't pay tax. Government don't make profit. But the day they begin to think about our earning, our income, as something that has money value, then the better they can manage it. Because if you have borrowed money from the bank before, you will know that you pay interest on the bank loan, whether it is Saturday, whether it is Sunday, whether it is public holiday. You are paying interest even when your money is not working for you. That is the discipline you understand by understanding what profit and loss and balance sheet are. You must have a flair for running teams. The job of managing a nation is not a one-man job, no matter how well it is. But the principal job of the manager, of the head of state, of the governor, is like the CEO of a company. Because Nigeria can be seen as Nigeria Incorporated. And the job as CEO or head of state or president or governor is to choose your lieutenants, your team, your directors, your general managers. The same it is. You cannot tell me you choose people and they are not performing and you still keep them. It doesn't work. Your own success is measured by the success of those you have chosen. So you must know how to choose things and work with the things. You must also be somebody that has a measurable self-confidence and ability to tolerate diversity. Self-confidence comes from your willingness to develop yourself. I look at that bishop has a PhD. I know how much time he spent traveling left and forth. It increases his self-confidence and his ability to deliver on his job. But there are some presidents and governors we know that do not even attend conferences. From one station to the other, they go nowhere, they go to no school. They don't improve their lives. How will they have self-confidence and the ability to tolerate diversity? Because it's when you have self-confidence, you can tolerate diversity. You can deal with the up and the down without feeling inferior. But the moment you don't have self-confidence, you are suspicious of everybody. Charisma and ability to mobilize. Healthy body and spirit. And the 24th virtue that I insist on leaders must have is what I call true fear of God. True fear of God. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. The good understanding have all they that do His commandments. His praise endure forever. Psalm 111:10. The God of Israel said, the rock of Israel spoke to me. He that ruleth over men of the just, ruling in the fear of God. 2 Samuel 23:3. But the midwives feared God and did not as the king commanded them, but saved the men, children alive. Exodus 1:1. You shall not therefore oppress one another, but thou shalt fear thy God, for I am the Lord. Leviticus 25:36. But the Lord your God ye shall fear, and he shall deliver you out of all the hand of all your enemies. 2 Kings 17:7. The secret of the Lord is with them that fear him, and he will shew them his covenant. Psalm 25:14. In summary, Nigeria needs leadership that fully demonstrates three critical areas: competence, character, and courage. The 2023 opportunity that the present condition of Nigeria is the antithesis of what God wants it to be is clear even to the blind. This is not the country that God allowed us to have. It's not. Because I was old enough when this country became independent, sufficiently to know what happened, and the expectations and the anxiety and exercising that a new country is born that we're going to be the leader of Africa and the pride of the black man. This is not the country. The country that is rated low in every human development index, in every global statistics, is it transparency initiative, is it corruption? What is it? Go and look at all global measure. Nigeria is below. And if it starts yesterday, it's only getting worse. 2023 opportunity. Many people feel that the church must accept a significant portion of the blame for this state of affairs in our country. So my call today is that the forthcoming 2023 elections gives us the earliest opportunity to correct this travesty and anomaly where beggars are riding on horses while princes are walking on feet. The church must be frontal in setting minimum standards of competence, character, and courage which our potential political leaders must possess to redeem our country and turn it into a God-fearing, prosperous nation that is at peace with itself and which is globally competitive and respected. Our next crop of leaders must demonstrate evidence of competency in their previous assignments, demonstrate evidence of unblemished character and integrity, and demonstrate the courage to stand up for the truth and defend their convictions. A closer look at many of our past leaders shows that most of them did not have the right mix of this critical leadership virtues necessary to lift our country out of economic stagnation, social disembouragement, and spiritual collapse. My point is that the church must become an agenda setter, dictating to and calling the shots in order to ensure the new political, economic, and social order that will get Nigeria attain its manifest destiny as the most popular black nation on earth and the leader of Africa, with a mandate for re-evangelizing the world. That's Nigeria's mandate. The new Nigeria group. It may be pertinent to inform my Lord Bishop and all the bishops and archbishops here today that God in His infinite mercy has had the prayers of the church. That's I believe. Prayers of the innocent, the poor, the weak, and the deprived, and has seen the tears of our women, especially the widows and the orphans. He has seen the crying of the blood of the innocent shed daily in this nation, and has mandated the emergence of a new Nigeria. A first world nation that will work for all. A nation where righteousness will reign in government and all forms of evil will be eschewed. A nation that will truly fear God and where the love of God will permeate all facets of national interactions and activities. A nation that will work for the north and work for the south, work for the east and work for the west, work for the rich and work for the poor, work for the strong and work for the weak. A united nation in word and in deed. That can only be a nation which only God Himself can build through His elect. I invite the Church of Christ to join us in building the new nation. That is the present call. Once more, thank you, my Lord Bishop, and the Diocesan Board for the opportunity. Thank you.
in decision to return. But we appreciate you. You have never failed in responding to our invitation. Mazi, God bless you. I say, we can give you money.
You are the God who was, who is, and is to come.
People, we can't keep